Hey guys, it's MMA Vulture coming at you live with this week's best UFC bets. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with the lock of the night being Benoit Saint-Denis. He is my lock of the night. I think that he is the better striker on the feet over Moicano. I also think that a lot of people are going to be impressed with his grappling. I think that he's going to fare very well in the grappling department with somebody like Moicano. I know Moicano is a grappling-based fighter. He has great grappling with great submissions, strong takedowns, but I think that Benoit Saint-Denis is going to be able to fare very well against him in that department. I think that Saint-Denis is going to be the stronger fighter out of the two. I think he's going to be the better striker out of the two as well. I think that Saint-Denis could ultimately end this early on Moicano and land that devastating shot. Let's not forget, Moicano did get dropped by Jalen Turner, but Turner's low IQ led him to not follow Moicano to the ground and finish the fight, and Moicano ended up coming back and knocking out Turner. And I think that if Saint-Denis catches Moicano, it's going to be a lot tougher of a time. Saint-Denis is a smart fighter that will pressure and overwhelm you, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think Saint-Denis could land that devastating shot to put Moicano away. And that is my lock of the week, and we're going to go ahead and move along to my most confident picks of this week. And my most confident picks this week are, as you can see on here, starting with Chris Duncan. I know that a lot of people are heavy on Balaji Oki, but I think Chris Duncan is a seasoned fighter that is a great grappler and a great striker. I think that he's going to have the obvious grappling advantage. I think he's going to fare well on the feet with Balaji Oki. I know Oki has that devastating one-punch power, but I think Chris Duncan can get it done on the feet. He went up against the likes of Drew Dober. He fought very well, and Chris Duncan is a savage. I think that he's going to beat Balaji Oki, and that is my dog lock of this week. I think that he could get it done. I also think that this fight, a lot of people are thinking it could go under. I'm thinking it's going to go over. I think these two both are solid, have great chins. I don't think that either of them are really going to get knocked out. I think this is going to be a tough brawl to the end. And I like the overs in this. I really do. I think that they're great money. Over 2.5 is sitting at plus 105, I believe. Let me see. It is sitting right around, a plus 105 and a negative 185 on the over 1.5. And I like both of those. I really do see that fight going the distance. And then with my other confident pick, I have Jacqueline Cavalcanti. And she did beat Nora in their first matchup, and I think it's going to happen just the same. I think she's going to outstrike her and overwhelm her and strike from, maintain distance really well. She's going to strike from the outside, piece up Nora, pepper her with shots from the outside, and I think that if it does go to the ground, Cavalcanti has the obvious grappling advantage. I think that she's just going to be the overall better fighter between these two, and we're going to see a repeat of the last match that they had, and it's going to be Jacqueline Cavalcanti coming out with the W in a hard 3-round fought battle. And then with my other confident pick, I have Matt Frevola versus the Faraziam. I think that one could go over as well. I think these two are elite fighters. I think that they both have good chins. I think that Matt Frevola doesn't really have the power. Faraziam doesn't really have the power on his side. I think Matt Frevola has the power in terms of hands. I think Frevola could end it early. I'm going with Frevola to beat Ziam. I see that happening, but I also see the over happening heavy. I really do think that these two are going to scrap it out to the end. And then another one that I really, really am high on is the Ludwig Klein by knockout. I think Roosevelt Roberts has a weak chin. I think that Ludovic Klein can find that chin in the first round, to be honest. I don't see this fight going far. I think Ludovic Klein will catch Roosevelt Roberts after overwhelming and pressuring him and end it. And that's my most confident picks for this week. We're going to go ahead and move along to some of the Degen parlays I actually have for this week. And let's go ahead and talk about my first Degen and what I think is Chris Duncan to win by decision, and that is sitting right around a plus 350. Same with Oki to win by decision, but I think Duncan can pull this off. I think he's the more seasoned fighter. I think Oki needs to prove himself a little bit more against better competition. I think Duncan is a great fighter, so it's going to be an interesting matchup, and I think that Duncan can get this done via decision. I think he's going to outstrike him and outgrapple him. And then moving along to some other Degen parlay props that I have are Umar Sy by submission, and that is sitting at, let's go ahead and check, is sitting right at a plus 130, plus 135, around there, and I like that. I think that Umar is going to take Wu Zhang down to the ground and use his grappling advantage to his ability and use his strong takedowns and clinch work to get Wu Zhang down. Wu Zhang is a pretty good striker with power. So if he has any trouble on the feet with Wu Zhang, I think he's going to take it down to the ground where he has the ultimate advantage and just catch that neck, catch that leg, catch that arm. I think he ultimately gets the submission here. I think we're going to see Umar Sy get the submission and be a Wu Zhang. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. And we're going to go ahead and jump to the next Degen prop I really like, in what is Benoit Saint-Denis to win via knockout. I think that he could really catch Moicano. Moicano got caught by Jalen Turner, and Jalen Turner kind of fumbled the bag in that one, not following up his shots. I think Saint-Denis is smart. I think that if he knocks him down, he will follow him to the ground and grapple with him. I think Saint-Denis has great grappling and great striking. I think he has on-par grappling with Moicano, and we're going to see that this weekend. I think Saint-Denis is going to land that power shot and knock Moicano out. I really do see that happening. I think Saint-Denis is a great striker. He's a selective striker. And in his last bout against Dustin Poirier, he had staph infection, so obviously he looked a lot slower, didn't have as much power, and just didn't look the same as before. And we're going to go ahead and move along to some parlays now. There's not really much Degen props other than the ones I said. I will say Duncan by decision I really do like at plus 350. I see a lot of value. Umar Sy, again, sub at plus 140. And then Saint-Denis knockout, negative 110. I like all those. I also like Ludovic Klein by knockout. I think that he gets rid of Roosevelt Roberts early in the fight. And we're going to go ahead and look at some parlays. Again, as the parlays go on, they get a lot more riskier. If you guys are big on the parlays, then I have some big plus money, and then I have some low plus money if you don't want to take as much risk. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Like I said previously, the Duncan fight, I see it going over. I have over 1.5 on the Duncan fight, and then Cavalcanti money line, and that's sitting at a plus 123. I like that. I think it's very live to happen, and if you want to get a little bit more risky, do the over 2.5 instead of the over 1.5 in the Duncan fight, and Cavalcanti money line is plus 195 instead of plus 123. That's a little bit riskier, but I still think that the Duncan fight is going to go to decision. Moving right along to the next one, in over 2.5 in the Frivola fight, and Duncan money line sitting at a plus 342. And that one is Obviously, a lot more riskier, seeing as Frivola is a power puncher in the Ziam, but I think that one does go over. I think that Frivola is going to take him down and use his grappling abilities to maintain control. And then the Duncan money line, I told you, seasoned fighter that I think is going to get the better of Balagioki. And then we have the next parlay in Klein by knockout, and then Frivola money line, and that's sitting at a plus 328. I do like those odds. And then we have Klein by knockout again, Cavalcanti money line, and then Frivola money line at a plus 525. That's a lot more riskier, but I see all those happening, man. I like the Klein and by knockout and Cavalcanti money line. I like those that parlay, as well as let's go ahead and throw it a little bit crazier in Frivola money line and over 2.5 Duncan fight, and Frivola money line, and Frivola fight over 2.5, sitting at a plus 621. So let me repeat that: Frivola money line over 2.5 in the Duncan and the Frivola fight at plus 621, and I think that one is very live. I like the over in the Duncan and Frivola fights. I think that those fights are gonna go to decision. I think they are very tough competitors on both sides that don't have weak chins and are great fighters, and I ultimately see those fights going the distance. I like Cavalcanti. She's a great fighter. You're getting good money with a negative 210. Daniel Barez, I feel like that's more of a coin flip. I think that he still beats Victor Altamirano. Eileen Perez, that fight I'm still a little bit hesitant on. I like Eileen Perez, but I think Daria is still a good fighter. Taylor Lapilus, obviously I'm going him all the way. Same with Ludovic Klein. That's the only way to go. Umar Sy, I think he uses his grappling to get the better of Dawon Jung. Ian Cutabella, Ivan Ursulan, same thing with the Daniel Perez and the Victor Altamirano. I think it's a coin flip. I think Ivan Ursulan's going to get the better of Cutelaba. I think he's a mediocre fighter. And I'm excited for this fight. The Matt Frivola versus Faraz Ziam. I got Matt Frivola. I think he pulls off the upset here. And then same thing with the Ludovic Klein. I mean, there's only one way to go. In this card, there's really not much in terms of some money line, because a lot of these fights are very wide. Either they're very wide or they're coin flips, complete coin flips. Like we have Morgan Shada versus Gabriel Miranda, negative 700. You're not going to really want to touch that. Benoit is sitting at a negative 270. It's kind of tough. I definitely would put him in parlays, but again, very tough. Then you have Matt Frivola, Fares Ziam, coin flip, I feel like, but I'm going Matt Frivola. Cutelaba, Ursulan, coin flip. Umar Sy, again, wide odds. Ludovic Klein, again, wide odds. There's a lot of these are very wide odds, and not much you can do money line. Obviously, parlay them up, but that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace.